And one fish, two fish. And one fish, two fish. And a red fish, blue fish. And one fish, two fish. And a red fish, blue fish. All right, I think we're good. And one fish, two fish. And a red fish, blue fish. All right, I think we're good. Let's just double check YouTube. Let's come over here. Then we go over there. Then we swing back into here. Let's come over here. There we go. All right, YouTube sounds fine. Twitch is fine. We're going to work on the parent outfit that we've been working on for the last few days. So let's go to the content library. We're going to do some texturing. I think mostly texturing. Actually, I'm going to try to take it apart. At least the Genesis 9 version. We're not ready to do Genesis 8 version just yet. Actually, before I do that, though, I want to make a... Yo, Rod Shelley. How you doing, Rod? How's Joe doing? You know what? Let's go ahead and click on the... Let's do that. I want to make a no belt morph, and I'm going to see how that works out. For the outfit. I'm going to load it in. I'm going to try to get this morph on here. And I'm going to try to also put it on the Genesis 8 version. We'll see how this goes. Open project. And we want to come over to Greek and Parian and whip. And I want the one that says dress. We'll start there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to deactivate the belt. She's doing okay, and you too. We see the surgeon tomorrow. Hopefully she can come home soon. Fingers crossed, buddy. All right, let's take this. Let's deactivate pattern and so on. I'm just going to leave that there. And what I have is a bunch of elastic running on these edges here. We're going to get rid of that. And then I'm going to run the sim. I'm going to undo that. Something didn't get selected even though I did that. Activate. We're going to do deactivate pattern and so on. I'm just going to go ahead and hide it too. And then what I want to do is I want to come in here and I want to undo the elastic that's making that bunchy. And then we'll export that out and see if I can load that in as an unbelted morph. And we'll just need that for the top. But anyhow, all right, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to do a couple things. I'm going to move that down. We're going to have to put all this back. Then we're going to move these two down. And then we'll do a couple of, if I do that, do I show any elastic on here? Elastic, let's turn that off. You know what I can do? I'm going to put this all back. I think I can do this all in one fell swoop. All right. So we're going to select all of this. We're looking for elastic. I'm just going to turn it off. And then we're going to see. That's kind of what I wanted to do. So that becomes an unbelty morph. We're going to go with that. Okay, now for our next trick, we're going to make you visible again. And we're going to activate you. And we're going to select everything. And we're going to save this as unbelted. File, export, OBJ selected. And you know what? We'll make a new folder here for morphs. It just helps keep things no belt. We'll do that. to save that. All right, let's see how this goes. I think this is all good. And then we're going to swoop back over to here. Let's go get our dress. I've been working on the rogue outfit. It is not quite done yet, but I'm getting closer. I mean, it's done, but I just have to upload it. I was working on promos today. All right, put that on there. Nope, cancel that because I'm in the wrong folder. And I deleted the wrong thing. Let's go here, the Genesis 9. There's a novel idea. Okay, that unbelted morph is designed for the Genesis 8 female. So we'll just change the shape here and then load it in. All right, let's see how this goes. Let's see if this works. Fingers crossed, because this will be a cool looking morph if it works out nicely this way. Morph Loader Pro, and there's a morph folder here. How handy is that? Let's open that. Let's see how this goes. Do I have the right thing selected? I do not have the right thing selected again. I feel that happens like half the time I try loading a morph in. Okay, I think we're good now. Yay, it worked. Okay, let's see. There we go. It's beautiful. Oh my God, I'm gonna cry. All right, that worked. Um, I'm not gonna save. I'm not gonna save what we just did in Marvelous Designer. I am gonna do this for the Genesis 8 version though as well. And you know, before I lose it, I'm gonna save this morph. Actually, while we're here, let's do some. Do I want this to be an adjustment or special? I'm gonna call this special. Here, let's do this. So I'm gonna use the special colors. And in here, we're going to put a path to actor special. And we're going to use limits. And you know what? I'm going to turn the minimum to 0. And then we'll save that before I lose it. And I'm just going to save that one belt morph we did and export that out. Should be good. So what I have on... So after I do this for the Genesis 9 version, what we're going to do is we're going to break this apart into 4 different parts. There's a top, there's a belt, there's a short skirt, and a long skirt. And then, so we're going to save those out as the different parts, bring them in, delete the stuff that each one doesn't need, do a little bit of renaming of material surfaces, and then save them back out. And then we should have four separate figures. But right now I want to do the, so what I just did over here, we're not saving that because I don't need that. I don't want to overwrite my good stuff. However, I'm going to bring Marvelous Designer back. While that's going on, let's load in the Genesis 8. That no belt morph looks so nice. It's good. It's good. All right. Why do I see an outline? Oh no, I got the stupid outline highlighting thing going on again. And it's doing the weird shit. What did I do? I'm gonna shut this down and relaunch it. I'll worry about that later. I fat figured something, didn't I? You know what? There's a setting somewhere in I don't know, is it in here? No, it's not in there. The highlight. Actually, you know what it is? I got the wrong tool selected. What the hell is that? I have no idea why I had that selected. That's better. This is what I want. Never mind. Disaster averted. What is this tool anyhow? Does anybody actually use this? Activate the region navigator tool. I have never had a use for that. I'm not even sure why it's there. Anyhow, I just went past my dress. There we go. All right, looks good. Let's go to Marvelous Designer now. If I can find it. There it is. I see it all the way down there. All right, do file and open and project. And the parent dress G8 female. So basically we're just going to kind of do the same drill we just did. So I'm going to select that. I'm going to deactivate the pattern in the sewing, and I'm just going to hide it for right now. Then we're just going to grab all of this and turn the elastic off. And then we'll just let the sim go. And that just falls off as if there's no belt. It actually comes apart on the... Actually, it's connected on the sides, isn't it? Because it's just sewn right there. Which is fine. That's fine. All right. Now we're just going to select this and make it active again. And I'll make it visible again. It's doing a... It looks a little weird. Not going to lie. But that's okay. Because when we do the separate parts, that won't pop through. All right, we're going to do File, Export OBJ selected. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to back that one up. And then we'll overwrite that one. I think we're good. All right, we're going to leave this on for just a minute while we load that morph into here and see how it goes. So this time I'm going to remember to select the dress. Activate the morph thing. Choose the morph file. Choose the morph we just made. Okay, I have to scale it just a little bit because of because that's just the way I work with Marvelous Designer. So we're going to say 10309.3 and accept. And it said successful. I'm optimistic. There we go. I like that. Okay, let's tweak this just a little bit and then we'll save it out. We're going to do the same thing we did with the other one. Say that, put that into actors and special. I can't see what I'm doing. Actor special. Damn it. I needed to do more things there. I forgot to change the color and set the minimum to 0. So we'll do that. We'll make the color. This is the color I always use for specials. It just makes them easier to see amongst all the clutter. And also we're just going to come here and set the minimum to 0 on that. Looks good. Now we're just going to save this out. File, export. Oh, right here, modifier asset. There we go. This is base. And I just want to save what we just did right there. All right, we're good. I still have to add the extra adjustments and the base morphs here. I still haven't done that. Maybe I'll get to that tomorrow. All right, let's let's work on this. So we're going to go back and we're going to reload in the Genesis 9. And then we're going to save it out 4 times. But there's a little process that's involved here. So each time we're going to give it a new name. So we'll start off by calling it the top. And then we're going to come over here. And we're just going to edit the scene identifier. I'm going to change that to say top. Also at this point I can set the content type. So we'll just do that while we're here if I can remember. And that's going to be a shirt. The rest of the stuff should be good. So we're going to just accept that. And I'm just going to save this. Parent outfit G9. There we go. And we can start saving this as the top. G9. And I have to set the product right here. Parent outfit, me is good. Is a shirt, looks fine, accept. Okay, now I have to do that 3 more times. The belt and the 2 skirts. And right here, so we're going to make one for the belt. Go into the scene identifier. Change that to say belt. Change this to say accessory waist. Waist. There we go. Belt, belt, waist. All good. Except that. Save. Overwrite that. We'll say belt here. Belt G9. All right, me. Parent outfit belt, accessory waist G9 is good. All right, now we'll do the skirt. I'm going to say skirt long. And then we do this, it's the same drill. Back into the scene identifier. Change that to be skirt long. Change this to say wearable skirt. Wardrobe. Is it wardrobe? Wardrobe. Oh no, Glenn called. Hold on a second. All right, I'm coming back. I'm coming back. Where's my ears? Oh. And now I have to wait for the latency so I can see if I'm in the camera or not. I think I'm good until I lean back. What am I doing? Long skirt, right. Okay, content type. Wardrobe. Scoit. Accept. And then I think I'm ready to save. So we'll do this. And we make you skirt long. Should be good. Me. Parent outfit. Parent skirt long G9. Wardrobe skirt G9. Accept that. Dum, dum, dum. All right, one more. Skirt short. 1, 2, 3, 4. Short. All right, back into the scene identifier. Change that to say short. Still a skirt. That says skirt short G9. Looking good. All right, hit that. Save it as skirt short. All right, it's good. It remembers parent outfit this time. All right, anyhow. We'll accept that and write it. So I'm going to go ahead and load each of these, although they're more or less the same as this. And then we're going to use the geometry editor to delete the parts that we don't need for the individual pieces. So I'm going to get rid of that, do this. We'll start here. We'll do the belt first. Easy enough. Go to the geometry editor, head over to tool settings. We want to choose, there it is, pairing belt. And I'm going to just, these are the surfaces we want to keep, so we're just going to select all the others. Like that. Then we're just going to right click here, come to geometry editing and say delete selected polys. And I'm going to say yes to that. And they're going to go away except for the belt. Huzzah. And then we're just going to save it. And this should work. And I'm just going to overwrite the belt. And already exists. Do you want to replace it? Sure. And I want to make sure to say pairing outfit right there. And the rest of this should be good to go. All right, 1 down, 3 to go. All right, belt is done. We are on skirt long. So I'm going to delete all the parts that aren't. And also for the skirt long, I got to make some adjustments. But first things first, select skirt long, geometry editor, tool settings. We'll get rid of the parts that say top and the parts that say belt. So belt, 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 and the top parts. And we'll delete all of that. And now I want to do some reassigning because I have extra surfaces in here designed to help me split these out. So skirt hem is going to become part of the skirt. There's a little bit of the hem that I have to reassign to the trim. We'll do that in a minute. Actually, I should do that first. So first things first. Actually, it doesn't make any difference. We'll do it this way. So I'm going to select those and assign that to the skirt. And then there's this skirt low. We're going to select that and assign it to the skirt as well. And then I've got these two parts here I don't need anymore, so we'll just remove those. So now this gets to be renamed hem, because that's the low part. This, I can assign this to trim or the other way around. It's probably easiest just to, let's just make sure I've got nothing selected. Clear selection just to make sure we're clear. I'm going to take that trim and I'm going to assign it to this trim. And then I can get rid of this now that it says 0 over there. Is good. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hide this skirt. No, I want to keep the skirt, but I'm going to bring up the, we're going to hide the trim. And I can see I should have done this a little bit different. There's a little bit of line right through here that needs to be assigned to the trim. And there's like 4 spots of this. There's some I can't see because it's on the inside, so it's going to make it a little tricky. You know what I can do is I can hide some of the mesh. Anyhow, let's assign you to trim. And I'm just going to go ahead and hide that as well. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take that and just expand that out. And then we can just hide that geometry visibility, hide selected polygons. And now I can see the part that I need to get to in here. And we can just select these. Oops, missed. And then I can just select these and assign them to trim. And I do that, I can see that I've got that, and then we can come back. You know what? I don't need those back just yet. I'll unhide everything later. And then these need to be trimmed. And then I'm just going to kind of do the same thing we did before. Select all of that and hide it. And now I can see the trim that was hidden. And then I can assign that to the trim. And we should be good. Alrighty. So the long skirt is all done and ready to go. And this way, the short skirt will have the same material zones, same surfaces, so the same mat file will work with either one. That's all part of my evil plan. Let's just make sure I got nothing selected. And then we're just going to come over here and save you back out as long, skirt long. Say yes. It should say that right there, so I'm going to make sure to check on that and accept. Should be good. All right, long skirt done. Now we just need to do the short skirt. Long skirt was the hard one because I had to do some shuffling. I have to reassign some of the. I was a little sloppy with the hem surface. As you could tell, there was that little strip there on the side. I'm going to have to. Actually, I don't know. We're good with this one. Never mind. The short skirt's going to be easy. We just have to delete parts. Oh no. Oh no, my short skirt broke. Damn it. Damn it, Janet. Is my top good? I haven't done the top yet. Is my belt good? My belt's good. My long skirt's good. How did my short skirt break so easily? Oh well, this is why we have the main dress still saved. I'm just gonna resave it for the short skirt. Actually, I can, no, I'm gonna, because the long skirt's no good anymore because I changed the materials, the surfaces. Skirt, short. I think I need a space in here somewhere. 1, 2. All right, we're good. All right. Edit the scene IDs to say. I wonder how that broke. Skirt. Short. That's what I'm typing. I'm typing short skirt and my brain isn't quite following. Wardrobe, skirt. We'll do that. The rest of this should be good. I'll do a save. I'm gonna pop over to the data directory and delete that so that we rebuild it. Over in here. Let's see what we got. See here, we're getting these, and for some reason it didn't save out right. Did I get a product in here? I did not. I wonder why that didn't work. Maybe I had nothing selected? I don't know. Um, how weird. All right, let's try this again. I'm going to overwrite the skirt short and save. Exists. Would you like to replace it? Sure. Me. Product. Uh, wardrobe skirt. Rest of it should be good. Let's go take a look at our data folder. There it is. We just created a short skirt. I don't know why that didn't get created before. How peculiar. I wonder if I overwrote something somehow. Wouldn't be the first time I screwed something up. Okay, I think we delete that. Select this. Load you in. We're good. All right, now we're just going to delete everything but this low short skirt part. Geometry editor, tool settings, select the skirt. So I don't want the belt, I don't want the belt, I don't want the belt, I don't want the hem low, I don't want the skirt low trim, I don't want the skirt low. I want to keep these, and then we don't need the top. And then we'll just delete all of that. Geometry editing. Delete selected polygons. There we go. It's the short skirt. And then we'll save that. And I have just the same surfaces that are in the long skirt. Don't do that. Say yeah, yes. Exists. Make sure that says that. And the rest of that looks good. I think we're good. And I can still use the dress to make materials that we can apply to everything but the shoes. All right, so that gets me. So I'm going to just double check these. I'm just going to shut this down and reopen it. And we'll just do a quick load in and see if things are working. Give Daz a minute. I'm probably trying to launch too fast here. Probably didn't happen. Okay, let's try that again. There it goes. All right, do that. All right, belt looks good. Long skirt looks fine. Short skirt looks fine. I forgot to do the top. Okay. Dang it, dang it. Okay, we want to delete everything that's not top. So it's basically everything from the top up. Geometry editing, delete selected polygons. I think I'm saying yes. All right. We should be able to just save this now. Over the top. Say yes. And make sure we change that. And I think the rest of this is okay. All right, I'm going to delete that. Let's see if the top comes in. Okay. Seems fine. Let me see if the morphs are working. I got the wrong thing selected. I don't know if it moved. I couldn't tell. My morphs don't seem to be active right now. I always have this problem. It's kind of goofy. Let me see if there's something. Let's see if we close and reopen. It might be I just saved this, so it might be jamming itself up in memory somehow. See, I think that worked. So I'm gonna torch you by closing Daz down again, and we're gonna relaunch it one more time. Sometimes this method doesn't work as well as I would like it to. I occasionally have to resave things a couple of times, and I haven't quite put my finger on what the exact order is to not have to do that. I think it might be just not after I delete all the polys and reload is to just not do that. Right. See, I see the shoulders moving. All right, we're good now. See, there's that no belt morph we just did. So I think we're all good. I got my three. They all should be doing this now. So let's go. Let's get substance rolling here and make some textures. And I'm gonna try to just. I have some trim colors. Oh, I have an idea. I'm trying to think how to put a displacement map, but I've got an idea. Same way I'm going to add trims. Okay, never mind. I'm back. I'm back. So if we're doing the materials, we're going to use the main dress and save the map files out of there. And I think we already did the displacement map, or at least we started it. At some point, I'm going to update the displacement map on the belt buckle, but not yet. Or maybe not at all. Depends on how lazy I'm feeling. We'll see. If I spend the time to do it right, it'll look a little bit better, probably. Anyhow, I'm going to bring the main dress back in. As we get closer to being done, this won't be in the final product, but it's really handy to use this for working because I can use a map file that'll work on everything else. Ideas, you get those every now and then. Yeah, I try not to use those ideas. And now I forgot what my ideas were again. Dang. Oh, we're doing substance. That's right. We're doing the textures. I have to kind of decide how many I want to do. Maybe 9. Black and white. Maybe 3 fancy patterns, and then uh, red, green, pink, and yellow, or something like that. Red, blue, pink, and I don't know. Too many options. I always feel overwhelmed with the number of options I can do. Maybe we'll go with I don't know. I can't find substance. It's under Adobe. I knew that. Anyhow, we're going to get the trim set up. I think I'm going to run a small trim pattern right along the seams, just inside the trim, and then we're going to run a larger pattern along the hems and the edges. That's our plan for today. Parian outfit. There we go. Bum, bum, bum. Did I do this? I got to do the stitching on the shoes. Yo, Toriga, how are you doing? Stopping by, saying hi. Good to see you. Um, all right, what were you? You're an empty folder. That's what you are. I think. What are you? I can't remember. See, this is why you label shit. I don't think I labeled this. I think that might have been. I think I was playing with that for the patterns. I'm doing well enough, thanks. I'm calling this the Parian outfit. It is loosely inspired by Greek, but not quite. A real Greek outfit, it would come down, it would double up. So Greeks do this double belting thing. So you would belt it, you would pull a bunch of loose cloth out to here, and then you would belt it again. In my case, this is going to be a top, and then there's going to be skirt options and a belt. So not quite authentic Greek, but you get the outfit, you'll get there'll be a top, a belt, and then there'll be a short skirt and a long skirt option. And I got some simple, loosely based off of ancient Greek sandals that'll go with it. Yo, Leo. Exactly, Hollywood Greek. It's like when you find knights wearing sweater chainmail. Part of it is I'm avoiding having like 3 layers of cloth come together in a tight area. D-Force don't like that so much. So as it is, I'm going to have 2 layers on top of each other. It looks kind of Greek. Exactly, all made out of cotton. So I've got the basics in here. We just need to, I think that's my belt. This is actually my buckle. I put the buckle on its own UV map. And then the shoes are just a separate object by themselves. So we're going to add threads to the shoes, and I want to run a pattern along the hems. You know what I need? I need something in here to show me where the hems are. So let's start off with a fill layer. And I'm going to put you up there. And we're going to make you obnoxious color. So you're easy to spot. And we're just going to use a mask with a color selector on it. You could change the statue of Athena with this outfit. I guess you could. I think the Athenas are a little different, but you could probably get away with it. So I'm going to put little trim patterns along here. That's the long skirt hem, that's the short skirt hem, and this is the bottom of the top. So let's see, did I bother bringing that stuff in and saving it last time? I can't remember. Plain trim, there it is. I did save it. Okay. All right, I have to tweak that. This is going to get a little futzy. I'm putting the 3D view all the way over there. And then can I just pull you all the way through? You did not do anything. I'm not sure if the size is right. You know that size is about right. Let me just make sure. We're doing a UV alignment. I'm using texture space. We're going to just bring that straight across like that, and I don't see anything. What am I painting with? I'm painting with color. I should see color. Oh, I know what my problem is. There it is. That's better. I was behind my fill layer, doy. And actually I got garbage in there, so we're going to redo that. All right, let's try this again. I'm going to paint in bright red because that's an easy color to shift the hue of. And we'll just pull that across like that. And I should probably, you know what, do I want to put an alpha in here? This is an alpha, never mind. I should probably change this color because I can't see what I'm doing. That's better. That one ugly ass red, isn't it? All right, we're done with that. Moving along. Back to the paint layer. Kind of line that up about there. Bring you across like so. And I think I'm going to take a small pattern and run it along the edges. But not on. Yeah, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. Oh no, I can't go. I can't go. I ran out of room. There we go. We'll do it like that. Okay, let's see if I can line that up. Control Shift and then drag it straight across. Just going to take that one up a little higher. And you know what? I don't like how. I'm going to back up and redo this one. I don't like where that lined up. It looks like it's running a little on the high side. That's a little better. I'll leave that one in. Now let's see if we can match that over here. I think I'm too high. Yeah, we'll try a little lower. Let's see if I can do that. I'm still too high. That's better, I think. I wish I could just select it and move it. How sweet would that be? this that's not a that's not an option for this program. Is that kind of that's close enough. They don't actually touch, so I don't have to worry about it. There's a little gap in between those parts. So if they are a little misaligned, you're not really going to be. I didn't like that one. Nope. I should probably make this a little. I think I'm a little high now. Yep. Sooner or later, I'll just accidentally put it where I want it. No. Maybe I should just make this a little smaller and then erase that one over there. I think I have to do that. All right. You know, that's not lining up either. All right, we're going to break out the eraser tool, which for some reason doesn't erase everything by default. Why? I don't know. I just work here, man. All right. So I'm going to type in the number. What are you? You say 2. How's that looking? I think 2 will be fine. Okay, that's all within the green. Okay, that is done. Now I want to run a small pattern along here, but not on the, and I don't know, do I want it to be this or I want it to be something else? All right, we're going to go look at the, I should have picked up some more resources. You know what? I could probably just make a simple little, um, Greek pattern. What is it? That made perfect sense, didn't it? Of course it didn't. I'm going to draw that in Photoshop and PowerPoint. Let's see if we can do that because it's just easier for me to draw stuff in PowerPoint. What did you open that up for? I had you closed. I had you closed too. That's better. It's good. Oh, I got recovery files here, here, here. No, no, they were saved. They weren't saved when you closed, but they were saved. Um, where's my drawing tools? Suddenly I can't use PowerPoint anymore. I'm going to do that. Let's say 0.25. Let's say 1.5. Let's say 0.75 and 0.25. Like that. And I'm just going to take this over to here. And 0.25 and 0.75. And we're going to bring you down like that. And then I'm going to take a piece over like that. And then I want a piece. It's going to come down to here. And then I need, nope, I need to see what I have an idea what I want, but I can't remember exactly how it looks. Oh, there it is. Oh yeah, I'm almost there. I just need to add the long bitty. I just need a piece that drops down the whole way. But doesn't go that far and goes down. So what I need is line it up right about there. What are you? You're a 1.5. You probably can get away with 1.25. And then you go there. And then you're going to come over here. And you're going to be 1.25. And I'm going to line you back up over there. And then I need you to be maybe 1. And I think that makes my little repeating pattern right there. So if I take this and it lines up kind of like that. That's what I'm going for. Is that it? That is it. Okay. Do 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 do. Looking good. Now how am I going to build you out? I think I'm going to put this in a square. Okay, how big are you? 1.5 by 1.25. So I'm going to add just an extra little gap on the top. So we're just going to put a spacing block behind it. And you're just going to be 1.5 by 1.5. And I'm going to line you up there. Send you to the back. Let's get rid of the lines on everything. Let's make everything black. Except for this is going to become white. Actually, do I want to do it the other way around? We'll do it the other way around. That's going to become... That's white. I'm going to do it like that. Why are you not lining up properly? Do you still have an outline on you? No, there we go. Okay, now I just need to convert this into a shape we can use. As an alpha for making a repeating pattern. I'm going to try it like this and we'll see how it goes. Let me try this file, save as image. Save as a picture. Let's put this in here, Greek pattern. Greek pattern. Ping. What do I got in here? You know what? Maybe we'll make a new folder. Save that. I think I want to... No, I'm going to use this as an alpha, so I need the black and the white. Let's see how this works out. Oops, I needed that. Okay, I'm going to make a new fill layer, or new paint layer. Let's build a new brush. Import resources, add resources. This was in pictures. In the new folder. Yeah, let's just grab that. Okay, you're going to be, put the old CCOX on there, makes it easier for me to find things. We'll call you an alpha. Greek border. Import. I'm just going to swap that alpha out for this. Oh no, did you get loose? What are you doing? What are you doing, loose? Don't be loose. Get back to where you are. So what happened to my library? Did I accidentally close my library? It looks like I did, didn't it? Didn't I? Dangy. Dang it. Views. What happened to the library? Where'd the library go? The thing. Texture settings. Assets, that's what we want. Assets, right? Assets is supposed to be up here. I don't know why I lost it. There we go. So let's take you and drag you into the alpha. And we're going to rotate that and we're going to adjust the spacing. And then I'm going to save that as another brush. Did I have the full? I did call it. I'm going to rename the other brush Greek pattern. I can't find it. Let's do this. This is the reason why I put CC in front of everything. That's a Celtic pattern. There it is. Parry and trim. Let's add the word Greek to this. Can I? There we go. In here somewhere. That I can kind of remember. And now I've lost the because I touched that, my alpha changed. There we go. So we want to rotate that 90 degrees. Somewhere in here is something for rotating. Orientation, let's say 90. Oh, that works. Okay, I'm going to make that small because I want that to be pretty small. Also, I'm going to highlight the trims so I can see those. And I'm going to put this small pattern just on the outside of these. There. In there. And there. And I think I'm just going to run it straight down through here. Although not through there. I'll erase that out later. Or I'll just start there and go the other way. I don't know. Let's go back to here. Let's do that. That isn't going. That's larger than I actually want. We'll undo that. We'll make this even smaller. And then maybe I can just, that didn't work. I'm getting there. Now I'm off. God damn it. Okay, position you right there. And drag you up. We'll go a little past and then I'll erase that off. And I'll just come down here. You know what I think I'm going to do is I'll probably make a mask out of this. And then I can apply, once I have all these trims done. You know, that's a little farther off the edge than I actually wanted because I can't quite see what I'm doing here because it's shadowed. Oh no, I can't move. Okay, let's see if I can get this. Nope. Let's try that again, but the other way. It's a little farther off than I wanted. I think you know what, I'm going to live with that one. Moving over to the other side. I think that'll probably be fine. then we're going to erase a little bit. So we're going to zoom in and clean these up just a hair. And let's just make sure my brush is set to erase everything. Because you skipped. I saw that. You skipped. What the hell? What is it? You know, that's spacing. We'll set you to. Oh, you're off just a hair. That's probably going to be okay. Oh no. What the hell happened there? It did a weird skippy thing. Let's see if I can line this up. Let's try that again. I'm pretty close. There, that's a little better. I'm off a little bit there. I don't know why it starts like that. That didn't go well. What the farfignugan? Oh, it's because of the direction I'm heading in. Dang it. I'm going backwards. Which means it's flipping it around because of the direction it's going in. There's a way to flip that though, isn't there? I think if I say 270 on the rotation, probably should get it to work. If I can just get it to line up. Nope, you're painting on the wrong side. You're just not starting where I'm clicking. That is annoying. That's annoying too. I'm literally just. It's probably something to do with spacing. Or. All right, I'm going to stop worrying about that. It just doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. We're going to clean those out. Actually, I don't want to clean those out. Never mind. I just realized I actually do want that there. That looks like it ended well. I think this is good. I need to save a couple of these, I think. Or maybe I'm not going to use these. That's what I'm starting to think. I'm complicating my life unnecessarily with these. So I think I'm just going to go with those. All right, what do we want for colors? Oh, I should do the threads on the shoes. We still got 41 minutes left before I'm going to call it a night. Let's put in another paint layer here. And it's probably easiest to do them here rather than struggle in 3D view. Unfortunately, the tools for painting in here aren't as good as the tools in 3D view. But painting in the 2D view is going to be a lot easier than the 3D view. So also what I need to do is I need to be able to see the leather surface and not the inner surface. So we'll use our garbage layer here. I'm not sure which is which. We have to take a look at 3D view and see that one there. Okay. So those are top straps. So these are the ones that I need to put threads on. And we're going to do that with layer 5. I'm going to take that filter off. We're just going to look for the good old-fashioned straight stitch brush. I'm going to switch it to red. We'll make some adjustments. Running simple. We use the thin. Did I already go past the... Where's the color? Okay, we're going to do a UV alignment. That says color. There's the color right there. Make that obnoxious red. Much too thick. Try that. I kind of want to run it along both sides. Kind of like that. That's about right. That's what I want. So all I have to do is outline all these. I can't use symmetry with this because I got the rest of the dress in here. Otherwise, this is just tedious. Just take the time and get it done. All right, and they're all just clumped in the middle here. Give the hands a little bit of a break. I probably should have done a double thread right through the middle. Probably should have thought of that before I was about halfway done. You know what? You're nice and straight. And then you get curved down here. It's a little weird. Getting there. Oh, I hate it when it does that. I think there's a way to not have it pop that menu up. It's going, I'm clever. I'm gonna, oh, the shift. That means you need something. No, that means I'm doing something else. Don't do that. Stop it. That's gonna look a little janky through there. I'm not even sure if you can see that or not. We'll take a look. There's that stupid menu that pops up whenever I hold the shift key down. All right, I think I'm almost done with the. Oh, I got to do the backs of the heels too. I think, yeah, these look like them. Oh, and then there's these little doohickeys on the back. Let me highlight that stuff so I can see it. There we go. So I'm going to put a little bit through here. He's probably got another one right there. I should see something there. Why did I not see something there? Because I probably just painted on the inside of it. There we go. All right. And then I'm just going to run along the edge of the heel. And do I want to? No, I'm not going to run it on the insole. All right, I think I'm almost done with the stitching. All right, let's uh-oh. I'm out of my milk. All right, let's put a hue and saturation. What are you again? Oh, you're the lost. All right, let's put a hue and saturation filter on here, and actually let's label you stitches. Let's label you. I want to actually use the trim to export out, and I'm going to use that as a mask for putting different materials on the trims. So add a filter. And then what we're going to do is, I like the regular hue is good. So we're just going to kill the saturation and take that darkness down quite a bit and set this to multiply and back it off a little bit. So it just kind of darkens up what's underneath it. Okay, I don't need that anymore. That was just to help me figure out what's what. Okay, and the trim layer. So I'm going to move the trim layer up here for a second. Let's put a fill layer in here. Let's make this fill layer black on the base color. Let's take the trim. Let's add a filter onto that. The good old HSL. Regular. I'm going to take the saturation off and I'm going to crank the lightness all the way up. We're going to export out a color map and then bring this back in as a mask that I can use just to update the trims. So you know what? What did I just said base color UDIM because we got UDIMs. I don't. Oh no, I'm doing 8K. 8K is fine. I got to remember in general not to do 8K, but 8K is fine for right now. And I only need one of those. This one right here. I'm going to put this into the whip folder. Yo, DJ Ray in the house. It's a partay now. Oh, I forgot to shout out Rod. I forgot to shout out everybody. I forgot to shout out Leo.
This is Sparta!
There we go. We got the Leo command. And also the Rod command. I forgot the Rod Shelley command. There we go. And the world is safe once more. Yeah, this is mostly good. Woohoo! Let's cut this. I am cutting this. Let's come over to the whip folder. How you doing, Ray? You're always good. Ray is always good. Did it warm up a little bit for you today? We got up into the 30s. We're supposed to almost get to 40 tomorrow. I'm looking for Greek, right? Greek. Parian. That's it. Whip, and I'm going to put that right in here. I'm going to paste that, then we're going to load it back in as a resource. You hit 50? Dang. 70. No fair. We still have lots of snow on the ground. I should have did this a couple of weeks ago, but I didn't blow out the area to put the trash cans. And so I had to go down there with a shovel when I took them out today, just to clear out a spot so I could get the trash can next to the road. Almost. I've read almost. Uh, all right, come back into here. Turn that off. We're going to re-import this, and I'm going to hide these. And I'm going to put a gold material in here, and then we're going to mask it off with what we just did. So let's do. See, I actually have this gold here, right? And you probably got a color selector on you. I'm going to get rid of the color selector. Actually, I'm going to leave that. And I'm going to, actually, yeah, we're going to lose the color selector. And I'm going to bring in, we're going to do a couple of things. We're going to, actually, yeah, let me get the color selector in here. And also, let's add a paint layer. Uh, and if I put you here, how does this work? If I screen you with the color selector, that didn't do it. Oh, I dropped a paint layer in there. I didn't want to paint. I want a fill layer in here. That's what I want. There we go. That's what we wanted. Yes, indeed, Bob. All right, now we can mask that off. I can put a mask in here for that, and then the mask, it'll only show up where my mask shows up, and here I think. So let's see how that works out. File, import resource, add resource. We're going to go to our whip folder. I'm going to take this base color here and use it as a mask. And then it does that, except now I got issues with this. And is it painting over here? Yeah, I don't want it masked over here though. So maybe I should just do this as a separate. I'll do this as a separate. I'll confuse myself less that way. And then I gotta mask that out. Bum, 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 bum. I do that. I drag this in. Actually, I do this. I add the black mask. I add a paint layer on that. No, I'm confusing myself. Let's go ahead and just say gold. And now I can't see anything. Did you not apply? You know, I only really need you on these, don't I? I missed. I missed again? There we go. All right, now we'll mask that off. Oh no, why you know? It's too complicated. Oh, because I did the paint layer thing again. Damn it. I keep clicking paint layer when I mean to click on mask. That's better. There we go. I can do it in gold. Or we could just do a generic fill layer with a color. I could just add the black mask. Why am I not? Oh, my properties went away again. I must have fat fingered it somehow. Ah, there we go. Add the paint layer. This time I'm remembering paint layer. I say paint layer and I keep the fill layer. I keep wanting a fill layer and I keep thinking paint layer. Fill layer. There we go. Is good. Then I can just put a hue saturation filter, something on here. Add a filter. Add a hue saturation. Lightness. Set that to regular. Can desaturate that. You are not supposed to be there. You're supposed to be over here. I did it again. Do I have to actually, maybe I have to select that, then add the filter. There we go, that worked. All right, I think I'm ready to start saving out some stuff here. What is going on here? Oh, the filter went over there. No, 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 no. Because I lost my color selector mask. What happened to my... I have a color selector there. I have a fill there. And you're still painting over here. I gotta just mask that off with a paint. And I gotta mask it off from there too. So I did need a paint layer, didn't I? Doy. Um, are you painting on the UVs or something else? Tangent wrap. Okay, I gotta back that up. That's better. I love how that changed size when I moved over. All right, I think we're good. Is that? Yep. All right, I'm gonna make white trim, black trim, blue trim, gold trim. And I think I have to touch that mask up too, don't I? That's fine there. Are you slopping over onto the shoes? You see, you are slopping onto the shoes. I'm gonna Google what I got. 13 minutes. I'm gonna Google ancient Greek clothes colors. Red, yellow, green, violet, and for the elite expensive shades of purple, white natural would come in. So I think I'll do that. That's kind of a natural. We'll make it a little darker. Yeah, I don't see anything that says blue, so we'll do red, yellow, and green. So let's start lining these up. What do I got? So I think I'm just going to change the colors. So here, we'll duplicate this a few times. Is it Control D? Control D. Yep. That'll be white, that'll be black, that'll be red, yellow and green. Okay, is good. Now we'll actually just change the colors. Okay, so for red, and we don't like bright red. Pretty. Um, Turn that off. Yellow. I think I want to lean to the lighter side on the yellow. Maybe like that. I have two yellows. Why do I have two yellows? Because one of you was supposed to be green. All right, we're going to do green. Ooh, I like the way that's going. Yeah, I think I'm going to go with that for green. I need a black. Hide the green. Is good. White. All right, it's kind of like this, except we're going to cool it off a little bit. Punch up the brightness. That'll be white. Okay, so for trims, I think I want white, blue, gold, and silver. So we got a gold trim. Do you have a color option, or do I have to? You don't have a. Let's click on the gold. Is there a color option in here? There is. And you know what? It's got that weird green thing going on. We'll get rid of that. And I'm just going to duplicate you and make you a silver. And that becomes silver trim. Okay, that's the white trim. Let's duplicate you. And we'll make you a blue trim. I know the little ball looks red. That's because we color shifted it. I think blue looks nice on the, and maybe we'll do a blue. Doesn't list blue as like one of the colors? Black, worn during mourning. Um, oh, here we go. We'll use this, and I'm gonna crank the saturation all the way up so we can see what we're doing. Take that lightness down so we can see our color again. And then we adjust this until we are blue, baby. And do I want to? Maybe somewhere in there. So I'm going to have white, and you're going to have the white with the blue trim option, is what I'm thinking. Hey, Ruris, how are you doing? I do it in Marvelous Designer when I lay it out. This one worked out really nice because it's giant planes. So, and then I took the buckle and I just remapped it to be a square. The shoes I just mapped in Blender. Here, let's get Marvelous Designer. Marvelous Designer is open. There it is. You can see how it. So when I'm working in Marvelous Designer, I kind of lay stuff out in the 2D window the way I'm thinking I want the UVs to be laid out. And that ends up being my UV map. So it's often not super efficient, but it's laid out really nicely. So if you're looking at the template, you could probably figure out what's what. In this case, because everything's just these giant rectangles, and I got lucky. This is almost a square. It worked out nicely in this case. But normally I will spend time lining things up here in Marvelous Designer and then save that out. If I really wanted to pack something down really tightly, I would take it to Blender and use the UV Pack Master, which is how I do the shoes. So the shoes are done in Blender. I use UV Pack Master to pack the half of it. And then when you do a mirror, you just, there's an option to mirror the UVs, right? So I do that. So that's how I get, this one really worked out nicely just because it's giant rectangles. And it's good to see you. How are you doing? I got to make a command for you at some point. Oh, I'll get to that. That'll point to your Daz store. Here, we'll drop the link in real quick in the meantime. How do you spell Daz again? There you go. If anybody wants to check out a super cool cat store, check Ruris out over at Daz. Also, if you got links at ArtStation or other things you want to share, feel free to let me know and I'll try to remember to make a command for that. And I might even get it done this year. So, um, okay, so I've got my main colors planned out. Actually, I want to do some, I'm probably going to do some patterns. And it's also coming up on 9 o'clock, so I'm going to be quitting soon. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to export this out and call it, um, although I want that to be a lighter, a more warm color, a brown or something. Uh, where are you? I haven't got things really organized over here very well yet. Are you one of these? Nope, you're that suede. You're that. It's probably, it's around here somewhere. Are you just linen? You're the linen, aren't you? Yeah, you're just linen. You know what? Maybe I'll just go with the linen on that one. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. And brown. Let's adjust these. Let me group these together for the shoes. I'll call that shoe tan. And I can duplicate that and make the brown. Although, you know what? I think I will. Do I want to just make that the leather on these ones? You know what? I think I might try something. Let's get rid of that for a second. I'm backtracking with a few minutes left before I call the end of the stream. Leather. There we go. So if I used this, did you drop? I kind of like that actually. I might go with that. A little more primitive look. If I want a fancier look, we can swap that out for a silk or something. But I think I'm going to go with that. Actually, let's do the white. So let's duplicate layers on that. I think I will actually put a linen in here. Do I just want to make this? I don't know. I am going to have a black shoe and a white shoe and a brown shoe and a tan shoe. And I'm not sure if I'll have other colors or not. Shoe, white. Let's do that. Let's tweak the color of the suede. Let's tweak the color of the fine leather. And what are you? Oh, you seem to be... Nope, I don't see you. Oh, you know what? I can't see you because you're underneath the other one. There you are. I'm going to leave you there. And you know what? I think I will put a fabric on this side. That's going to more or less, I think I'm going to actually lighten that up a little bit. You're that calf leather, aren't you? I think for the white shoes, we'll make it lighter. And I think I'm going to swap you out for, you know what? I will put the linen in there. Linear? Linen. Let's try linen. I just saw what I wanted and it went away. I lost it. There it is, fabric linen. I want to put that right there. Where did you go? You're all the way over there. Let's bring you down to the shoes. Let's put you right in there. There we go. And then I'm going to adjust. Did I not? I did. Oh, I see what's going on there. Because I had that other. There you go. You need to be in the shoes too. And I need to turn you off. If I've got the. There, that works better. Let's bring you over here. And did I stick you in shoe tan? I think I missed. I did miss. That goes over here in shoe tan. And then we're going to close that up and hide that. And let's adjust the leather or the linen so it's a little finer and maybe a little cooler. I've already lost my white shoe. I'm looking right at it. I don't need to see you. That I don't need in here, but you know what? I'm just going to delete that. That's just confusing me. And I want to tile that a little bit more. Probably like that. I think I'm going to go with this. All right, let's tweak. Let's make a silver buckle. I think I'm going to duplicate this and make it silver, and that's the buckle color. Duplicate layers. Do you think I would remember that after a year or two? All right, let's tweak these colors. That'll act as the silver. And then down here, do the white fabric. I think I'm going to go with this for the, and I'm going to save it twice with and without this blue trim. So Control Shift E. I'm going to do a full 6 channel. I think I've got opacity going on here. So we'll use 6 channels on the UDIM. Export that. Okay, you're still thinking, oh, I'm doing 8K, I'm gonna cancel. I don't want 8K maps, I want 4K maps. I keep forgetting to switch that to 4K. I'll do an 8K displacement map, but everything else is 4K. All right, are we good? Now we'll go. They should actually have it go faster too. And my mug is still empty. And we're past 9. All right, I'm going to export these out and throw it onto the dress. And then we're going to call it a day. We're going to find somebody over on Twitch to raid. So let's take a look while this is thinking. Let's see who's on in the Twitch first tonight. That's YouTube. That's not helpful. That's Twitch. That's better. We'll go to the bottom of my follow list and work our way back up. We'll see if any of the art friends are on. I see my crafty friend Zyrstana is on. She's probably getting ready to raid. Or we just might go hang out with the Rumikin. He does puzzles and stuff. Is a good friend. At least until I find out who he votes for. then things are liable to change. Yeah, I'm thinking we'll just go hang out with the Rumikin for the raid tonight. All right, that is good. Let's open up the output directory. Okay, things I need in here. Oh, and I'm going to do this once more for a white base color. And we'll just do that for the colors. And actually, before I do that, let's get in here and change that to say white trim. Before I forget. And you know what? I can just overwrite these other ones. But here, we'll switch you to say base color UDIM. I'm going to do that. And what I need to do is turn my blue trim off. And then save this. Export that. Export. Dum, 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 dum. All right, where's my... So while that's exporting, we'll go over to the runtime folder. And that's the 1001, buckles in 1002, and sandals are 1003 for the UDIMs. So we'll come in here. There's another color, so I'm just going to call you white. And all right, so all of these, and I don't need that metallic map, but I'm going to copy it over and I'll just delete it later. So those go into the dress folder. Those are, this is the silver buckle. Let's change that to say silver. You know what? I should have maps over there already. And those go into the buckle folder. And yep, it thinks it has 5 of the same. And I don't actually need the opacity. And I don't think I'm going to need that metallic map. So you know what? I'm probably just going to lose those. Keep these and move those over to the... And actually, let's change that to say white. Before I forget. And those go over into the shoe folder, sandal folder. Over there. I'm going to hit save here so I don't lose all of my work. I've been told that was a good thing. I don't need to save this because I actually don't want to save it with that shape. So shut that down. I'm going to load all of the textures. You know what? I'm going to just load the shoes in too. We'll do that. Now the buckle's separate, so we'll do it and we'll have to redo that. Come over here, do that, spread that out. I have got this split up into parts already. Oh, Ruris, that was a trick you showed me over on Jay's stream, how to break things apart really easily. So I made this dress and then separated it out into a top, a belt, and two different length skirts, which are over here. But I'm going to use this to make my material files with, because then it'll work with any of the others. So we're going to do that. Come over to the dress. And I do have a displacement map. You know what? I'm going to reset. Make sure my base shader is on there. Drag and drop our displacement map. That gives us our fake thickness. Make sure our displacement level is set to 6. I'd like that to be maybe 2.2. So that is done. I do have an opacity ever so slightly, so we'll put that on. I don't really need the metallic map, so you know what? I think I'm going to delete that and turn metallicity to 0. We have a base color. I'm going to go with the one with the trim for now. On the final versions, that won't happen on the long dress, but on this one you can see it. Because I'm gonna do some weird skirt's actually gonna just have a white material. That works for that. Actually, I'm gonna do that the other way. Put the white material on everything. Then grab the two hems. And there's isn't there a top hem? There's a top hem. Those get the trims. Only those get the trims. And what else do I have? I have my roughness map. Into the glossy roughness. Where are you? Right there. My normal map into the normal channel. Height map, I'll just drop into the bump channel. Yes, I know it's redundant, but I do it anyhow. I think that's good. Okay, so the belt buckle gets its own special texture. I still have to do some stuff with the belt. All right, so it gets a metallic map. So I have to dial you back. And actually, you're probably just white, but I'm going to do that anyhow. Belt buckle gets its own normal map, its own height map, gets its own opacity map. Okay, I'm in the wrong. Oh no, I overwrote my opacity map for my belt buckle. Oh no, I'll have to resave it. It gets a displacement map. I have to remember not to overwrite it anymore. Where's Photoshop when you need it? I'm determined to get the textures on here and get a quick render before we call it a day. Are you my Photoshop? I should actually load this in as the opacity map for the belt buckle. There's the opacity map for the belt buckle. I may clean that up. Export as JPEG, export. Totally in the wrong folder, aren't I? That gets me a little closer. And I'm going to overwrite that with the one I have. And you know, that should automatically update in here. I can always knock the refresh. See if that actually does anything. There it is. That's better. Do I have my roughness? I got my roughness. No, that's the wrong roughness map. I can tell because it's white. And it should be like a dark gray at least. I've lost my... there it is. There's the roughness map for the belt buckle. That's better. Yep, looks good. I think that says 102, 102, 102. I still have that white base color in there. We'll replace that with the one for silver. That's gold. That's not silver. There we go. That's good. All right, I think I'm going to worry about the shoes later, but there's the textures for the dress. That's not a render. Okay, and while that's happening, hey, thank you all for being here. I really appreciate it. I'm gonna I'm gonna rework the displacement map on that buckle so it looks better. But that's where we're heading. That trim won't appear on the long dress in the final. It'll just appear on the short dress. I wonder if maybe I should maybe I'll run that little pattern around the collar and maybe down the edges of the sleeves. I wasn't liking it going down the sides, but maybe I'll stick it in there just to add a little something. I'm getting there. White tends to get blown out. Let me tweak my render settings and see if we can make that look a little better. That wouldn't be render settings. All right, and while we're doing that, thank you all for being here. I appreciate it. Hey, here's the link to the Discord. Feel free to join. Here's the link to my Daz store. Feel free to buy. We had the awesome sauces, Rod Shelley in the house today. Thank you for being here, Rod. We had Leo in the house as well, and Ruris. Go buy Ruris's stuff over at Daz. And what else am I doing? I'm getting ready. Yeah, that's good. We're gonna raid. We're gonna raid. We got raid calls. So if you want to stick around for the raid and you're not a subscriber, feel free to copy that. If you are a subscriber, you can use the sub raid call. I think we'll go over and say hi to Arumakin. He plays puzzles. He does words on stream. He does Kinder Eggs. And he'll probably end up raiding our magic friend Jack. So we'll do that tonight. We'll go over and say hi to Arumakin, also known as the Pope of Indiana for some reason. So, and if you're on Twitch, thank you. Or if you're on YouTube, thank you. Like and subscribe. That's awesome. And you Twitch people can stick around for the raid if you want to. If you don't want to, I understand. Copying my raid call. Did I do the, no, I got to copy Rumakin. Streaming. Where is the Twitch? No, it's over there. You can go away. You are my Twitch. And I lost you, Rumakin. I'm looking for my raid target. There he is. He's doing puzzles. What are we doing right now? He's currently playing words on stream. And then later on he opens up usually opens up a Kinder Egg before calling it a day. I'm doing this all wrong. Rubican, C, Control V. All right. Did it start the raid? I can't tell from here. Raid has been started with 4 viewers. Excellent. All right. Copy those raid calls. Hey, I will be back in 2 days. Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Probably working on this, but I'm not sure. We'll see where we are. I'm still trying to get the rogue outfit submitted, so I may not make a lot of progress on this before then. On the other hand, something might break loose and I might get an awful lot done in the next couple of days on this, and we might try to make something else. Anyhow, thank you all for being here. I appreciate it. I hope you all have a good rest of a Tuesday or Wednesday for those of you on the happy side of the planet, and hasta la vista, baby.